This is attorney Zac Bailey with the Marc Lopez Law Firm to talk a little bit about an OVWI situation where you may not be at fault as the driver, but the state still filed charges. So in Indiana, the state is able to file charges against you for OVWI even if the accident is not your fault. What the state is required to prove is that you operated a vehicle while intoxicated, and then maybe some other elements like in such a manner that a person was endangered, or you operated with an ACE above 0.15 or more. What is not in there is the fact that it was your fault. That is not a requirement. There is no intent element to this. It is just strictly, if you operate a vehicle, you are presumed at fault for driving the vehicle. Now, there are certain defenses to OVWI, such as a necessity or something like that. And by necessity, I mean maybe someone breaks their leg and you need to get them to the hospital right now to help them because they're in a medical situation and an ambulance couldn't get there in time. That could be a necessity defense. But it is not a defense to say, well, someone else ran into me, so I'm not guilty of OVWI because I never should have been in this situation. I didn't do anything wrong driving. The way Indiana views it, you did do something wrong when you got behind the wheel while intoxicated or with the blood alcohol concentration above 0.08. They don't even necessarily need to prove you're intoxicated, just that your BAC is elevated. We've seen a situation like this where an intoxicated person was run into by another person. That person also happened to be intoxicated, and both of those people were charged with OVWI, even though the person who was rear-ended did nothing wrong. Now in that case, someone else actually pulled up and was so frustrated by the accident that they started honking their horn, and then they were also charged for an OVWI after they drew the police's attention. So I think that's the record for most we've seen in a single incident, 3 separate OVWI cases. But that's just a long way of saying that even if you are not at fault for an OVWI accident, the state can still file charges against you. It is not an element that you be at fault. So give us a call and we can talk about that. We can talk about possible defenses. We can talk about, was the stop valid at all? We will go through all of those things to try to build the best defense for you that we possibly can. So give us a call, 317-632-3642. And remember, always plead the fifth.